teaches children art. Mina, tell us about yourself.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. So, basically, some information about me was I graduated from the Corcoran School of Art and Design in '96, and I was a sculpture major, which not too many us females were sculpture majors. I think there was only three of us in the program who did sculptures. And I was into installation art, and I did some really huge, like my one sculpture was 21 feet high, but yeah, um, by 5 feet. So when you asked me, do I have any of my art here? I was like, no. No, I have slides and I have pictures, but there's no way that, I have any of like my big stuff. And then I also was into carving stone. So I was that was my thing, even though we did drawing, painting, and all of that. But my heart is 3D.
Where do you think you got your inspiration from?
To be honest with you, I think it was just in my soul since I was a little girl. I mean, all I wanted to do was draw, and they put me in dance. I danced, I did gymnastics. It wasn't my thing, and I just always wanted to create and express myself. So it was just something that I just believe that I acknowledged from my being, from a little person. And I just knew when it was time for college, my parents were like, "You're going to go to regular college." And I said, "Absolutely not." I said, "I either go to art school or I'm not going to college at all." I'm a very firm believer that you need to do what you love. That if it's authentic and it comes from your heart, you can't fail. You need to get up in the morning and be passionate about what you do. If you're not passionate about what you do, you need to do something else. And it's not always about money. The money will come, but you need to love what you're doing.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit about the process of doing a large sculpture. Like, what does that entail? What were some of the challenges? What was the most fun sculpture that you worked on?
Well, it was very interesting because Corcoran was a non-traditional art school. So when I first started, um, some of my artists that influenced me was Henry Moore, Jean Arp, who were amazing stone sculptors. So I went in wanting to do carving,
Hmm.
and it was almost like too traditional for them. I think Corcoran wanted to be edgy like New York City.
Mhm.
So they didn't really promote me to do that. So I took like stone carving as an elective, but when I would work with it, I would take the stone and I would hold it and I just look at it and I'd say, "What do you want to be? What do you want to be?" And then I would see this form and then I'd start whacking at the the stone, and I would just get this, beautiful organic flowing piece of sculpture.
Mm.
And then when I started to explore other mediums, it was more like, to me, it was like reading a book, writing a sentence, articulating a story. You want to be heard, you want to be clear, you want to be concise. And so, whatever it was that I wanted to say, I picked the materials to work with to say whatever I wanted to say.
And it seems that when you're picking up the stone or whatever the material is, there's almost like a level of intuition.
Yes.
You're holding it, you want to feel it because it's something about you bringing out what the material will allow you to bring out.
It's kind of like looking at a person and saying, "I see all of these beautiful things inside of you. Let
Mm.
me pull that out."
Oh my
And
goodness,
and
that's
that's why I'm into teaching, because I can see the kids. I see their beauty. I see what needs to be pulled out, and it's art to me.
you're the co-founder of Years at Play.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that happened. when it
Okay.
happened, where it is, how people get
Okay.
involved?
Well, I mean, it's pretty incredible, when you put your mind to something. So I was in my third year in college, and I had decided that I was going to marry the two things that I love so much in life, and which is children. I just love the way they look at things. They have a knowledge that you don't even realize. And also, I wanted to live my life doing what I wanted to do. So I said, I'm going to start my own art school.
Right.
By my senior year, I was going to go into, I also thought about going into art therapy.
Mm.
And then some things happened in my life. My dad passed away, and I
Interesting.
just wasn't ready to continue going to school. And then the thought again said, start your art school. So as soon as I graduated,
Mm.
I started my own art school. I started out in
Congratulations.
my mom's garage, which we had converted into a studio. So I was extremely fortunate, and it took me 3 months to get one student. And from
Oh,
there, I grew
right.
to the point where I couldn't use the little tiny garage anymore for fingers at play, and took like a huge leap and rented a studio. And at the time, my college buddy, I said, "Hey, do you want to do this with me?" She's like, "Okay." So we kind of bit the bullet, and it was really scary because all of a sudden this was really real. Like you had to like pay rent for the studio and you know
Grown up.
recruit people and stuff. And that's how I started. I mean, it's pretty amazing to think like I said I was going to do it. This is what I wanted to do, and I went for it.
That's amazing because you're an entrepreneur, and it is very, very difficult for people who have an artistic vision
Yeah,
to be in the business world because the business
very.
is extremely empirical, right? Where you've got
Yes, absolutely.
the accounting, the taxes, the this, the that, and everything goes by schedule. And for artistic people, it is so difficult to have those confines. So kudos to you.
Thank
That's
you.
really impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
you use the word marry, and I know
Yes.
there is someone special in your life.
Yes.
Tell us about him. Yay! Tell us
Ah!
about him, how you met, how he proposed,
Oh,
all the details.
so it's crazy, we met on Facebook. So I think this is just the year of being online. And so we just chatted on, well, he like sent me a friend request, and took me about 2, 3 months to accept it. And then we just messaged each other and we were talking. And then we had our first date, and that was it. And then the proposal was beautiful. It was on my birthday.
Oh
We
my,
went out on my birthday, yes. And we went out to dinner at like one of my favorite vegan places. I came back home, and he says, I'm going to step out for a little bit. I'll be back. And I said, okay. And he comes back, and he's also an artist, and an extremely talented artist, and sings opera and
my
plays music and just rock and roll and just really great. So he comes back home and starts to sing one of my favorite songs from Phantom of the Opera. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
goodness.
What's going on? And then he starts to cry. And I'm like, he's crying.
Something's
Then I start,
happening.
yeah, so I start crying, and like, oh my God, we're both crying. And then he gets on his hands and knees and proposes.
Oh my,
And I was like, oh my God.
and he said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could just bottle that experience because it was just incredibly romantic. I mean, just to get like a beautiful opera sung for me was beautiful.
That's amazing. And
So,
it's just so happy when you see people who are happy because that's the good type of contagious, right? That's
yes, yes, and we need that this world.
yeah. Well,
Totally do.
I'm very hopeful that like, when you set the wedding date, hopefully it can be a wedding with the people who you love and that we get past all the
Absolutely.
concerns that we have. So really praying that you get the
Yes.
day that you would like to have.
I hope so. I hope so. We already had to cancel our engagement party because of this whole pandemic. So,
Mm.
one day at a time.
One day at a time, and, at least you have someone who can share this journey with you, right?
Absolutely.
Life is always sweeter when you have someone
Yes.
walking the path with you.
Yes. You're right.
Now the,
Right.
um, COVID-19 pandemic is
Yeah.
impacting many, many people,
Yeah.
and is impacting businesses.
Yeah.
And yours is a small business that requires these kids to up until now, I mean, they were in person. So tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
if that's impacted the business, how it's impacted. Are you able to do any virtual outreaches?
Yeah.
What's happening?
It's been ugh, it's hard to talk about without getting teared up because
It's your
I,
business. You grew this from the ground up,
yeah,
yeah?
I
And
really I oh gosh.
it's an
I
extension
real
of
Yeah,
yourself.
I
Yeah.
just I miss my students a lot. It's like part of me just died. It was this March 17th I had to close the door, and I I miss them. They're like my kids. And it's just one I've been through a lot of hard things in my life, but this is so hard. My heart is broken. Um and it's it's an unknown right now. I don't know
Mm,
anything. It's one day at a time, and I do have some classes actually lined up online.
right.
So actually I have two tomorrow and two on Friday. So we're going to see how it goes. It's not the same, because it's so hands-on for me,
Mm,
and then the hugs and the high fives and girl power and um just being really physical.
mm,
So I'm learning. I don't know yet, but I'm trying my best, but I'm really excited to get a lot of support and a lot of love, and I'm excited to see some of my students tomorrow via online, because it's just the way it is right now with social distancing.
mm,
So it's just another branch of exploring, and hopefully, we'll all be able to get back to, I know, not 100% normal, but hopefully we can, kind of like get back to our lives a bit. It's clearly economically for me, it's just a killer. If
mm.
I don't work, I'm not getting paid, and I still have to pay the insurance over there. I still have to pay the rent over there. It's just um and I don't qualify for the business loans because I'm actually too small of a business. You at least have to have 3 employees, and I'm just by myself. So
Mm.
it's really super hard, and I just keep praying, that things will be okay.
Yeah.
And, because this is my baby.
So on that note, we do have some information, yes, on how people
Yes.
support you. And I had seen it on Instagram.
Yes.
I think you'd actually also gone ahead and put the link in the bio. Tell us a little bit about that and how people can reach you and support you.
Well, I have a GoFundMe page, and it's for Fingers at Play. It's strictly just for the COVID, relief. And it is just to help me out for the next few months because I have no idea how long this is going to go. And all the money is strictly going to the art studio to help me pay for the rent.
Mm.
And I also decided that because of all the support and the help, that I want to give back. I really believe in giving back to your community. And I had decided that if I can open again, and when I open again, I want to sponsor a child who
Oh,
is in need, who parents can afford me. And for 6 weeks, give them a really great art education and love, and just, coddling at the studio, and just help them just feel good about themselves. Because that is what I do. This is why I do it. It's to to make kids feel really good and power, because kids have a lot of power within themselves, and there's too many wounded people out in the world, and so it starts young. So as soon as I get back in there, I'm geared up to just do my thing, and I'm gonna go and give back.
I love the inspiration and I love the positivity of the direction,
Thank you.
the plan, like when you go forward, it's
Yes.
helping the community.
Yes.
So people can donate to your GoFundMe page,
Yes.
following or looking for Fingers at Play.
You can find me at Fingers at Play on Instagram, or Sunny Girl DC, or Fingers at Play on Facebook.
I am very, very proud of you for
Thank
how
you.
far you have come, for a story of inspiration, a woman entrepreneur, an artist. You really have done a lot, and I think there will be many people who will be looking out for you
Aw,
and who will be hoping to follow in your footsteps.
thank you so much. This is such a pleasure.
Thank you for spending time with us this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to connecting again with you. Maybe in a few months we can touch base again and see where.
Absolutely. I would love to do that. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.